Hello everyone, welcome back to the Destination Baby and Kids YouTube channel. This is Gina. I am super excited to be here with you today to do a video that I actually want to do for myself. So this is going to be a video going over bougie single strollers for 2025. If you haven't yet, now would be a good time to subscribe to this channel because we do tons of comparison videos about strollers, car seats, and other baby products. And you can like the video, you can comment if you have a comment, or if you have a question at the end, feel free to leave a question. I will do my best to answer it for you. But what I would tell you is that if you like any of the fabulous strollers or any of the stuff that you see in this video, you can go directly to my website, destinationbabykids.com. You can buy anything that you see on this video directly off of my website. If you enjoy this YouTube channel, the best way to show your support is to go ahead and buy directly off our website. We can ship it right to your home, no problem. It is free shipping on most items. So again, if you're learning here, loving here, go ahead and buy it here. We appreciate every viewer, every view, and of course, we appreciate every purchase. As again, this is not sponsored content. This is just one unhinged woman's opinion about strollers and car seats, who's been doing it for 20 years, which is me. So let's launch in and talk about what we are going to be reviewing today. So today, what we have lined up are bad and bougie single strollers for 2025. These are strollers that will only hold one kid. These are your upper end, upper echelon single strollers. And why I'm specifically focusing on these is these are all newborn ready, out of the box, without using a bassinet or a car seat, okay? So let me rephrase that. You could buy a whole host of even more expensive strollers like Bugaboo, let's say, but that won't give you a newborn lie flat recline that would caregiver face or face out to the world with the main stroller seat. That is a tilt and space recline. We are not focusing on tilt and space recline right now. We are focusing on lie flat recline for newborn baby, high-end bougie strollers. So what does that mean? The ones that we are including are the UPPAbaby CRUZ V3, the NUNA MIXX NEXT, the Reef 2025, and then the MIMA CREO. Before you say, why the hell are you including MIMA? I will have a good solution or answer for that as we move through the video. Because again, MIMA is not super well known, but we do want to make sure that we include it because it is super bad and bougie, and it fits the criteria like the other ones do. And then we will have a video also for a step down in terms of cost for newborn ready strollers. So that one would be more like the Vivace, the Defy, and your Cybex Balios. So again, these are all newborn compatible, out of the box, high-end upper echelon. Let's launch into our bad and bougie 2025 single strollers. Okay, so let me run through again what we are looking at for our viewing audience. So this tan one on the very end, on my furthest right, your left, this is going to be the UPPAbaby CRUZ version 3, brand new, latest and greatest. Then we're going to have old reliable classic NUNA MIXX NEXT, a very, very strong seller. Then moving over, we're going to have the Reef 2 2025, awesome, gorgeous, beautiful stroller here shown in the tan. And then all the way here on the end in the bright white, we are going to be looking at the MIMA CREO. So these are all of our fancy bad and bougie strollers. What is similar? What is different? Well, let's get into it. So as I mentioned, all of these strollers will have a lay flat recline for a newborn baby with the option to caregiver face. We will show that as we're moving through the statistics. But I think launching into the statistics, going through that methodically, and then talking a little bit about the differences at the end is probably the most useful way to do it, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, so cost. Let's move down the line. CRUZ version 3, cost is going to be $1,000. MIXX NEXT, cost is going to be $1,000. Reef 2025, cost is going to be $1,300. CREO, cost is going to be $1,300. So again, I told you these were bad and bougie, high-end, fancy, okay? Our warranties, our CRUZ warranty is going to be 3 years from UPPAbaby. Our NUNA MIXX NEXT warranty is a 2-year warranty. Our Reef 2025 is a 3-year warranty, and our CREO is going to be a 2-year warranty. Our backrest height, so that is how much room there is from the butt moving all the way to the top of the backrest on the different products. So CRUZ backrest height is 20 inches. MIXX NEXT backrest height is going to be 20.5. The Reef's going to be 22, and then the CREO is going to be 23. So CREO, even though it's the weirdest looking of the group, has the tallest backrest. So that's nice and functional, and I just want to point that out because it does look a little strange, but it does have the tallest backrest height. Harness minimum and maximum. So on the Cruz, we're starting at 8 inches going up to 15.5. MIMACREO Next, we start at 11, go up to 15.5. Reef 2025 will be at 9, go up to 14.75. And Creo, we have 3 different positions at 12, 14, and 16. So again, Creo gives us our tallest seated torso harness height, which would make sense because it is also the tallest seat back. So if you've got a really tall kid or you're a taller person and you're going to have a taller child, something to keep in mind with Creo is that that seat is very accommodating for a long-bodied kiddo, which is kind of exciting. Now, canopy clearance. That means how much room we have from the butt to the top of the canopy. And one cool thing about UPPAbaby is that you can scoot that canopy up. If we scoot the canopy up with UPPAbaby, you are looking at a 24-inch canopy clearance. MIMACREO Next, it's a fixed canopy clearance, but it's 23 inches. Our Reef is a 22-inch canopy clearance, and then our Creo is a 24-inch canopy clearance. So Creo and Cruz are going to have the tallest canopy clearance, which is exciting, and then the Reef will have the shortest, but it's all within about a 2-inch difference, so not crazy. Seat width. Our Cruz seat width is 10.5 inches wide. NUNA's 11, Reef is 11.5, and Creo is 12. That just happened to work out. I did not plan it that way, but what a fun increase as we go down the line. Then we'll talk about the seat depth, so how deep the seat is. 8.5 inches on CRUZ V3, MIMACREO is 9 inches, Reef is 9.5 inches, and Creo is 10 inches. So again, that just happened to work out that way. I did not plan that. Just going in line, right? Our crotch belt dimensions. So with Cruz and with MIMACREO Next, they're both 4.5 inches deep on how far that crotch belt comes out from the back of the stroller. On the Reef 2025, it's going to be 4 inches, and then on our Creo, it's 5.5. Again, Creo being a little bit larger seat for a little bit larger body kiddo, not real surprising that they would have just a more generous depth there as well. Now the leg extension, that's this part that moves up and down like the leg rest. So leg rest on our CRUZ V3 is going to be 9 inches. Our leg rest on MIMACREO Next is 6.5. On the Reef 2025, it's 7. And on the Creo, again, it's 8. Our knee drop. So that's going from the knee all the way down to the heel stirrup or the footwell on the stroller. And to be clear, something that's very special about the Cruz and the Creo is that they actually have heel stirrups. Our Silver Cross and our MIMACREO Next have no heel stirrup. They only have a footwell. Why does this matter? If you're gonna turn a big kid to face you, right, and they're gonna go in this direction, something that they would get on the Creo or something that they would get on the Cruz is this option to have their feet supported in caregiver facing mode, right? So their feet are supported. If you did Silver Cross or if you did NUNA and you turn that baby around to look at you, while they do have an adjustable foot plate that'll come up, there is no heel stirrup down low for a bigger, older child. I'd argue big kids generally don't want to look at you anyway, which everybody hates when I say that. They're like, my baby will want to look at me forever. That wasn't my experience with my sister's kids. They were sick of looking at us after 10 minutes, like I swear to God. So I'm always surprised that big kids ever are sitting in backward mode. But if that was something that was of value to you, keep in mind, heel stirrup is on Cruz and on Creo, but won't be on Silver Cross or NUNA, okay? Just surprising difference for the price. Now, we talked about leg extension, knee drop. So knee drop on Cruz is either 9, 13, 15.5. MIMACREO Next knee to the bottom is 11. With Reef, it's 10.5. And then with the Creo, it's either at 10 or 14, depending on where you want to put that underneath piece. Our harness buckle type, all of these strollers have a magnetic buckle. So they're all easy to take the buckles on and off kiddo, all in different ways, but none of them will force you to press toward the kid's body to unbuckle anything, which means that you're not pressing across the soft of their belly or on their crotch, which is a really, really nice feature. All 4 of them A+ for that. Handle heights. So this is kind of interesting. Creo has the shortest handle height and its tallest. So at Creo's tallest, our handle height is only 41 inches. It starts pretty low, like 38. So if you are a shorter parent and you wanted a fancy bougie stroller with a short starting handle height, CREO actually gives you the most comfortable shorting start handle height. That's actually important for me. When I'm walking fast, I like my hands low. I don't want them up here by my chest. So CREO gives you a nice short handle height to start, but again, your tallest handle height that you would get out of it is going to be 41 inches. Now on the rest of them, our starting handle height is actually taller. Like on Reef 2025, our starting height is 38, and then it'll go all the way up to 44. I mean, you see this on me, this is crazy. MIMACREO Next is sort of the same story. MIMACREO Next has a handle height that goes all the way up. It starts at 41, so it's quite high. It's actually a little too high for me. And then it goes all the way up to 45. So this is a very, very tall handle height. So if you're looking for a taller handle height, MIMACREO or Silvercross for sure gives you that option. And then your CRUZ handle height is all the way up to 43. So that's still pretty tall, and the starting here is 41. So again, if you are shorter and you want that shorter starting handle height, I would tell you CREO will give you probably your shortest along with Silvercross, where they start at about that 38. So nice features on both of those guys just to be aware of. Weights, okay, so the weights of all the strollers. CREO, okay, so the heaviest is MIMACREO Next. This is 28.5. CREO is 28. Silvercross 2025 is going to be 27 pounds, and the UPPAbaby is clocking in at 25.5, so it is the lightest weight of all of them. Basket capacity, so this is interesting. Your MIMACREO Next, despite having like the most robust tire set, actually holds the least amount in the basket. The MIMACREO Next basket holds 10 pounds. Really, Nuna? Really? Okay, screw you guys, I'm going home. No, but like that's how that makes me feel. Our MIMACREO basket is gonna be 11 pounds. Now again, that's only a pound more than NUNA, but this is like a stroller that already looks kind of crazy and would probably have a smaller percentage of people purchasing it. So I'm always really surprised at how well MIMACREO Next does, considering that the basket is pretty low in terms of what it holds storage-wise. Our Reef will hold 22 pounds in the basket, and then our UPPAbaby CRUZ version 3 holds 25 pounds. I'm a little annoyed with the old CRUZ version 2 actually held 30 pounds in the basket, so you could really like load a dead body in there. No, just kidding. But if you are looking to hold more weight, for sure, your Silvercross or your UPPAbaby is going to give you 20 pounds plus in the basket, which is really fabulous. The basket sizes. So your biggest basket size is probably going to be the CRUZ, which is 25.5 by 14. Your MIMACREO Next is 15 by 13.5. Your Reef is 20 by 16. And then your CREO is going to be 19 by 13. So 19 deep and 13 wide. Front versus back opening to the baskets. Your CRUZ will give you 11 inches in the front and then 14 inches in the back for basket accessibility. And no question, CRUZ is going to have the biggest, most open basket out of all of these options. I would point out Silvercross basket is a lot more accessible in the front than versus the back, but just so that we understand what we're talking about. Front versus back opening for CRUZ version 3 is 14 inches. Back opening for MIMACREO Next is 12 inches. Back opening for Reef 2025 is going to be 6 inches. This is technically a 2024. Ignore this bar on the back. If you bought a new 2025, it wouldn't have this. So don't yell at me. Silvercross, Obi, I know. I'm putting my new one out. It's just selling so fast that I haven't had a chance to yet. And then on our MIMA, that will open up to be very open. Our back opening on CREO is going to be like 8.5, and then our front opening for the CREO is going to be 10 inches. So the opening on the front is actually pretty wide compared to the back. And because this is adjustable, that's easy to get at as well. There we go. You see right there. And then Silvercross, kind of a similar story, where our front is more useful than the back. Front opening on Silvercross is going to be 10 inches. And then the CRUZ actually has the most generous opening on the front and back. CRUZ front opening is 11 inches, and our front opening for our MIMACREO Next is going to be 8 inches. So CRUZ is definitely biggest, most open basket that holds the most weight. Now, all of these will work for newborn recline. We're going to talk about that. They all have a sandal-friendly brake, thank God. Again, the only one with heel stirrups are going to be the CRUZ and the CREO. So our little guys on the end, they have the heel stirrup. One-handed fold in operation. So now this gets interesting. That's where Silvercross will win. Silver Cross, I believe, is the only single-handed operation out of the group. And let's actually put that to the test, because I say stuff like that. Oh, nope. See, now Creo, you can actually do one-handed operation as well. Meaning I'm able to press the buttons individually to turn the seat around, okay? To be caregiver facing. You mean, what are you talking about? It's the same here with Silver Cross. If I want to turn the seat around, I only need to press one button at a time and then lift the seat up and flip it around. If I wanted to do that on either one of these two products on the end, which are cheaper, this makes sense. They are cheaper. They are a two-handed operation. I need two hands to grab and turn. I can't just use one button at a time in order to get the seat to turn around to be parent-facing. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. God damn it, there we go. Sorry. But it is annoying sometimes to have to hit two buttons. So we'll go ahead and turn these all caregiver-facing. And now we've got the kiddos looking at us. So when we talk about these products being newborn friendly or able to work for a newborn out of the box, what that means is that the seat goes flat enough to accommodate a newborn without a car seat. So half of the issue with most of the strollers that you buy is that although they, will recline, they don't recline in a way that's meaningful to be able to use for a newborn. So they'll recline, but they don't go flat enough for a new baby, is basically the long and short of it. So if you're looking for options that will go flat enough to accommodate a newborn right out of the box, all of these guys give you a lay flat recline for a new baby. You guys got to forgive me with this Creo. I don't play with it too much. So as you can see, totally flat, totally flat, totally flat, totally flat, okay? So then this gets into even weirder conversations with customers, right? Because then they're like, well, how does it operate that way? Do I like it this way? Let's look and frickin' see, right? Because they're all kind of slightly different. I would argue that NUNA's newborn setup is the easiest for sure, because the type of apronette that pops up is pretty minuscule. They're just like, yep, flip the bottom up, shove your new baby in there, and you're good to go. And you can see it's short, okay? If we go to cruise in our reclined mode, our foot plate is so much larger that turning it into this newborn deal for a new baby is gonna be, for sure, a little bit more complicated. And to be fair, they have a different version of this. This came from the show, so this is a prototype. A new one should be less annoying to do these steps on that you see me doing here. So just to be fair, don't judge it by me doing it poorly. Just keep in mind, there is a version that's gonna be coming out in August where this is cleaned up a little bit. It's not so clumsy. And hopefully you at home only having to learn one thing will have an easier time with it than I do trying to show 4 things at the same time with no air conditioning. So we'll go ahead and put this up, and you see it's like a little apron, but it's a fair amount of steps, right? It's not just like a 2-second deal. I mean, it's pretty fast, but it's still a little bit of work. And then you've got your little apron up, and then you can have your canopy up. And one thing that's cool is that UPPAbaby's added a little piece like a sunshade. It just goes like that. Now, to be fair, they copied this from Silver Cross. I don't care what they want to say, and I will show you because I can prove it. Like, don't make me prove it. Don't make me prove it, but I will. So again, both of these guys right now set up for single baby, right? Where they're just laying and looking at caregiver. Silver Cross has a really nice apron piece. I think this is probably the most elegant of them, where this guy will come up and then it's just 3 snaps on each side. I will say these snaps are very strong in that they will make you feel like you have arthritis almost immediately to snap them. My ones in the video here snap really quickly because I've done it 50,000 times. But if you do end up struggling a little bit more at home, please don't feel like there's something wrong with yours. It's just when you play with this stuff more and more and more, it does work itself out a little bit. So I love the foot plate here. It's a very elegant and nice looking one with Velcro right on the bottom where it just sits up really nicely and looks very smart. Color frappe. Now, MIMA, don't yell at me. I don't show it frequently enough to really demonstrate it with the newborn piece, but that is included in the purchase price. It's a little apron that's like separate and comes up over and hooks up actually very smartly to the handle. And then I also think there's a part, oh yes, I remember now. This is actually really freaking sweet. This looks sick. I'm gonna show you the full deal because I do think this is actually super sick on this product, and not all of them are this cool. There's a little piece that like pops out of the side here, or it's supposed to. Oh wait, no, this is for this to come up. Now I remember. This comes up and hooks over that. There we go. Tuck that back in, make that look nice. So now, this is like a whole look, right? So that's that little extra piece in the MIMA basket that's in there for a new baby. And now they're just like covered with this little apronette. And we'll go ahead and we will unzip the canopy to be larger. Also, before you guys freak out about the white, it all cleans with Magic Eraser. This is like a vinylette material, super cool. That's not what their kid's on. They're on actually like a cushion, but nice feature here. If you did want to go white, this comes in black, white, or mocha. You could always clean it with a Magic Eraser if you were concerned about filth. So ventilation, seat can open up. You've got ventilation on the side, and you see you've got ventilation on the NUNA there. Our UPPAbaby ventilation is, and NUNA also has an additional ventilated liner. So when you remove the liner, the backrest of the seat's ventilated. So if you're looking for your most ventilated option, it's gonna be NUNA. UPPAbaby still has a nice ventilated top. You get some ventilated shades on the side. And then with Silvercross, again, on the new version, it doesn't include the sun sail. The older version, it was included in the purchase price. I'm hopeful that they'll still make this moving forward because I do think this is a totally sick piece. I love this. Now again, this isn't for everybody, but like UPPAbaby is really pushing it with like stealing this idea. Because even for a tall parent, this was like so cool. And I'm gonna shorten it just because it'll make my life easier right this moment. But there were like these little toggles. You would toggle this guy on both sides. And then this piece would come up over the top. So your sunshade would actually look like that. So like, I understand that UPPAbaby thinks that they're doing something with their little sunshade that's tucked in, but it is a very, I would argue, poor copy of something that was originally done very, very sickly by Silvercross. So again, this is not on the 2025. This would have been on the 2024, but I'm hoping that they will still make it for the new one where you can buy it separately. I have to talk to them about that still because you could get an insane amount of sunshade if you wanted. And I just wanted to prove that UPPAbaby was copying somebody else, which is fine, you know? I mean, they can do that, but let's give credit where it's due. Now, let's talk about some other things. Which one of these fold meaningfully when we're doing this newborn crap, right? So it's like, I need my newborn baby to face me, not be in a car seat, but then I also need the stroller to fold immediately in this position. This is gonna be hindering, right? Not all of them are gonna fold with the seat backward. So one very exciting thing about NUNABABY MIXX NEXT is that this will fold with the seat on facing caregiver. The same is true with Silvercross. Silvercross is also a single hand fold. I don't think I have to put away any of that crap in order to fold it up. And the same was true of NUNA. Like I didn't have to take off the infant newborn setup in order to get it to fold. Both Silvercross and NUNA do an excellent job of folding because the handle does not touch the ground on either one when it's folded up. With NUNA, it's 4 on the floor. With Silvercross, it's 4 on the floor, meaning 4 tires on the floor, no handle touching the floor. MIMA, I am certain I need to turn around in order to fold. So I'm gonna do that. And again, it is single buttons. Whew, that is a, oh my God, because that's hooked on there. It's not gonna let me turn it around. What a goofball. Let's undo this really quickly. just so I don't look so stupid. Too late. We'll pop this off. There we go. So again, not difficult. I will get that other side sorted out. Don't freak out, guys. I got it. I'm a pro. There's little buttons for the canopy to pop out, and then they pop back in. And this can just go away, and we would tuck it back into the basket. So with MIMA to fold it, the seat actually has to be slightly reclined. And then I'm pretty sure that drops down, that drops down. You put your foot underneath, you grab the middle piece, it tucks forward. And again, we would have made this nice. And then our fold tips forward like that. This guy should not have fallen over. I probably bumped it, but that is our fold standing up there. So we'll just look at these next to each other. And again, my whole point with the Creo is that it's not like my best seller, but if you want these features and you want something different and your girlfriends all have the exact same thing and you just want something different, more fashionable, that could be a really cool option. Same with Silver Cross. I don't sell it as frequently as these other two, but it's really important to include it in the conversation because of the things that they do and the price point that they're at. So with Nuna, the seat can face me and still fold up. I'm gonna turn this actually forward facing to show you your smallest fold. And if we were gonna fold it in forward, we would wanna take this infant stuff off. So that is one difference there. That seat won't fold up as nicely when that infant stuff is on there. And we can fold the Nuna up, and you see when that stands, the handle's up toward the sky. So if you don't want a handle that touches the floor, you'd pick Silver Cross or Nuna. MIMA handle will touch the floor, and that will also be true on UPPAbaby. Now UPPAbaby as well, the seat's gotta go forward or turn forward before we fold it. It will not fold up with seat in backward face. Now, not the end of the world, but just something to be aware of. And something else you'd want to be aware of is you would need to unsnap these infant parts in order to get your best fold in our forward facing here. And so the reason why I say that is that UPPAbaby's been known for having bulkier folds in the past. This one is special. Whew, I'm making it look really easy, right guys? This one's special because it does fold smaller, because again, it has that seat that does the lie flat. The Vista V3 doesn't have a lie flat. The old Cruz doesn't have a lie flat. Really, the only stroller that they currently offer with a lie flat is MINU version 3. And again, that's not the same kind of lie flat as you see here, where it would be parent facing, caregiver facing. So that's the special thing about Cruz. I'm struggling with the sunshade staying in, but it does when you do it properly. There's like a little gusset up there. And we'll go ahead and get this folded. So I'm gonna recline it actually a little bit past the bar and then trigger, fold up. I've got this option to kick this seat forward and down. And then the next thing I would do is I would get this handle up toward me. So that's kind of our bad and bougie 2025. All awesome. All have options for travel bags, cup holders, all kinds of other crap. What do they come with? It's the biggest difference, right? So UPPAbaby's gonna come with a bug shield and a rain shield. Nuna comes with a Nuna car seat adapter. UPPAbaby's car seat adapters that are built into it will work with UPPAbaby car seats, but you can buy adapters for Nuna, Cybex, Mexi Collect, and Kiko. Big difference with UPPAbaby is UPPAbaby's the only one that'll play with Kiko. Your Silver Cross, you can buy adapters for Nuna, Cybex, Mexi Collect, Peg Prego, so nice choices there. And MIMA includes in the price the car seat adapters and that infant insert piece that you saw on there, and it may have a rain shield as well. Yeah, rain shield and car seat adapter. Okay, that being said, how would I describe these? Well, let's talk about it. If these were like mid-size electric vehicles or cars, I'm gonna call the NUNA MIXX NEXT Tesla Model Y. Very, very common. You see a lot of it. It's a very strong value, very popular. If we're gonna go to UPPAbaby CRUZ V3, I would say that this is more like a Cadillac Lyric, okay? So this is a lot like a Model Y, but I'd argue maybe a little flashier. Some cooler features included in the purchase price and newer, right? Lyric hasn't been around. Okay, we're almost done. Silver Cross. I would argue Silver Cross in this scenario, if it were to be a car, I wrote it down. Oh, Silver Cross is like a Porsche Taycan, right? It's an electric Porsche. If you're unfamiliar with it, it is sick. It is so gorgeous. You see a lot of them out here in California. I don't know if they're necessarily as popular everywhere, but it's more expensive, right? It's an electric Porsche, does everything, fancier, costs more. Very, very cool. Definitely still purchased and picked. We're selling a ton of this right now, but it's just not as popular in terms of like longevity over my career as the other guys have been. And for Creo, the best way I can describe Creo is that it reminds me totally of, we have a car that's very popular out here in the Bay Area called a Lucid. So a Lucid Dream is a sedan. It's a very expensive electric sedan. It looks, when you see it drive by you, it's just like whoosh, kind of like the Knight Rider, right? Just like, what the hell was that? I don't even see that car hardly ever. What was that? I gotta look it up. What is that? Lucid, right? That's Creo. Sell very few of them, but when you stack it up against the others, even though it looks different, it actually does a lot of stuff very, very well. So hopefully this video was useful for you guys to go over Bad and Bougie 2025. Again, I know it's an old song, but I think it's a meaningful type of thing to talk about with a lot of these strollers, because it's like in this price category, being single only, all of these are flashy, all of these are fly, all of these announce to the world that you have arrived and that your baby's here and that you are ready to play. So check out any of the individual videos about these guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in our next comparison video.